We want to make sure that it follows the same quality, high standards that our CAMP program has, and that's what we really foresee this program to be. Premier, unique, and absolutely one of the best around. So I'm going to pass it on to Diane.
Good evening, everyone. It's really a pleasure for me to be here and taking a look at all of you. And I'm so excited about what we're about to embark on. And I just want to say that I was on the first advisory board for Camp Gibberine about 30 years ago and helped conceptualize that. And then went on to be a co-chair of GiveU, and then now I am thrilled to be involved here with GAP. And I just want you to know that at the JCC, we are nationally known throughout North America for the wonderful work we do with individuals with developmental disabilities. There's a slide up that you can see. Many of you may have heard this before because we constantly like to brag about it. In 2018, we won the JCC Association of North America Award for the outstanding program in North America for Gibberine. And it wasn't just for particular programs for individuals with developmental disabilities. It was for all programs in North America. So Scott and I and others were happy to be in Memphis to receive this wonderful recognition. And that was only 1 year after we started GiveU in 2017. And we started GiveU because we listened to you, our parents, our families, because there was a need for this kind of year-round programming after school and also on Sundays. So thank you for that. The next award that I'm proud to tell you about is that in 2019, the JCC Association of North America awarded us a Program Excellence Award, Kol HaKavod, and that means all the honor, well done, recognition for social responsibility. And then in 2020, we were awarded the Innovation Incubator Award for the Give Shop. And this is very exciting. We're winning awards every year, and not just because we're winning awards, because our goal is to provide high quality, inclusive, outstanding programming. And I just want to thank the Give Shop because I'm wearing a bracelet that I got there that I just love. So visit that and buy something for yourself. So thank you, and just so appreciate your being here tonight, and we'll move on to the GAP program.
So hi everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Isela Heim, and I am not only an educational advocate. If everyone can mute, I'm hearing a little feedback. Thank you. But I also, okay, got it. Thank you for that. I also this idea came into mind. So for those of you that don't know me, yes, I work in the field, but I have a 21-year-old son with autism who is a lifer at the JCC. He started the J with Camp Gibberine at the age of 5, and we will never leave the summer program. Year after year, as a professional and as a parent, they just continue to completely impress me with all the opportunities afforded to our children. The vision component is so important and so well done. And it's really something we don't see, a lot. So as my son is getting older, his birthday's in March. During actually winter break, I'm taking a jog because that's my stressor, my de-stressor, I should say. And I said, we need this. I need to create something like this. Who can I partner up with? Within a second, I thought, I need to speak to Scott Ehrlich. Just like that, I texted him. I said, Scott, we need to talk. This is what I really think we need. We have all the, we can do this. We have an amazing facility. What do you think? And I thought he was going to be like, I got no time for you, sorry, and click. And we didn't. We had a lovely conversation that December day. And we quickly got this program, and the talks built an amazing committee. And this is what we're here about today. We're here about the Gibberine Adult Program, the GAP program. And I'm so excited to continue to share with you why we're doing this, but also what this program is going to be about and why we're different than other programs out there. So having an adult with a disability, as you all know, we've gone through many IEP meetings, through many, ups and downs with our children, whether it's school-based or home-based or family-based, a lot of the same concerns. I share that with you. So as a parent, I know, I have those nights as well, those sleepless nights that what's going to happen with Chandler? Who's going to take care of Chandler? What am I going to do with Chandler once he ages out of a program? I've explored, I've toured some programs. Nothing I have found or seen did I ever feel was going to be appropriate for my child. I needed a meaningful program. I needed an opportunity for him to not just sit in a room, but to have opportunities for fitness and life and work on relationships and those lifelong skills, especially with COVID. I think we can all admit, and we probably all have in common, that our kids have probably really struggled through this. So, my kid in particular, we've pretty much lost a whole year and a half of the past program. So we haven't had those opportunities to really work on those employability skills. So that's a big part of our program, to create these lifelong skills in relationships, to enhance individual strengths. And the individual piece is what I want you guys to keep hearing tonight, because that's what's going to separate this program from any other program. Our children aren't just going to be in a room all day doing the same tasks. We're going to create specific programs for your children, and we're going to build on their strengths and weaknesses, because we have to conquer those weaknesses. We have to strengthen them, and we want to make sure that we take the opportunity to build on, those great skills that they've already been taught. We want to try to enhance that while we're also developing some employability skills. Now, I'm realistic, and I know that perhaps for some of our children, maybe employability wasn't really on their radar, but doesn't mean we can't try, and doesn't mean that we can't do it with support, and doesn't mean that it doesn't necessarily have to be employment, but even a volunteer position. There is a place for our children, no matter what their ability level is. And that's the point of this program, is to jump on that strength and enhance it. Provide that social and recreational opportunities. If any of you know me personally, I'm out there. I like to get out. I'm very personable. And I think that's a really important skill. And I don't care what the disability is. Our kids want it too. But we need to teach that, and we need to work on that. And it needs to be in an environment where it's going to be properly modeled, it's going to be generalized, and we're going to be able to really practice it on their level. The healthy lifestyle. I don't know if you've all seen Chandler lately, but he's got a little gut on him. It's COVID thing. I think we've all put on a few pounds. Well, it's important. Fitness and life and a healthy lifestyle is very important. Teaching our children to participate in some of the classes and being able to participate in the fitness programs around the JCC, which we'll get into the campus later on. But no other program is housed in such an amazing campus that affords so many opportunities for our children. Participate in all the fitness and wellness programs is going to be a big part of it. In addition to that, we have to focus on those employability skills as well as those volunteer opportunities. So our goal is to partner with some community partners to not only offer that to our children, afford them the opportunity, but to be those partners that perhaps they hire our children or they bring our children on board with whatever capacity they can participate in, but building that relationship so they assist us, we assist them. Hopefully also we can get some donations from them, which would be really nice. But building that community awareness only promotes more inclusion. Next screen, please. So there's Chandler, actually. I'm glad we were able to get a picture of him in this. The mission of the GAP program is to provide adults with developmental disabilities a unique experience that offers employment skills, learning and enrichment opportunities, which are individualized. There's that word I want to keep saying, and I want it to really, for you guys to really hear it, to meet the goals and needs of each participant. We're going to nurture their strengths, and we're going to facilitate meaningful activities, which is another really important word. Meaningful has to be very individualized in order for it to be meaningful to that individual. And that's what this program is all about. We're going to promote those peer interactions, and we're going to engage with those community partners in hopes of getting your children either on an employment track, a volunteer track, or even perhaps we can open a business. We don't know. The possibilities are endless.
Oops, sorry, wait.
That's okay. So the eligibility is a really important slide because I know, again, being a professional in this field, our children do have their strengths and weaknesses. Some need more support than others. But in order for this program at the start to really for every participant to really be able to get everything out of the program as much as possible, we kind of have to stick to some of this. And one of the most important things is that, of course, that ratio. That 4-to-1 ratio, there is a reason for it, because of course we're going to be out in the community, our children are going to be participating in different group activities, and we want to, you know, not necessarily have a one-on-one, because we really want them, we're really going to work on with our children and our adults to be as independent as possible. So that ratio is really there for a purpose, so they can really maximize everything they can out of this program. And if they still need that support, they will have that in a 4-to-1 ratio, or even perhaps with a peer. That's always the goal, is that we get the peers to kind of work together and collaborate together, because that's what we do in work anyhow, right? So that's going to be a very similar goal. Of course, the age, I had mentioned earlier when they age out of school, but we will start accepting adults at the age of 20. Chandler is going to, you know, be leaving the high school program a year earlier. So, you know, and for some families, they may feel that they want something a little bit more individualized, a little bit smaller. So that's where we're coming from. So the 20 plus, of course, having the developmental disabilities, to be as independent as possible with some support as needed. That behavioral component is going to be also important. We have to really make sure that your child matches our program, not because we want to exclude anybody, because that's certainly not the point of this, but we want to make sure that each participant is really going to be able to reach their fullest potential in this program. So again, that's a reason for that statement. And of course, it's independent with self-care restroom needs. If your individual needs some support, that's okay, but we want to make sure that they're as independent as possible, because our goal is also to be going out in the community. So that's important to keep that in mind. So the program details. So for those of you that have not been at the JCC campus, I highly encourage you to go become a member. Even if you don't, you know, do anything else, do that. It's really an incredible, beautiful campus. And that's where this program is going to be housed. And we're so, so, so blessed for that. It's going to run basically like a school calendar, as well as following the DPJCC Jewish holiday calendar. So we realize that for some of you, you may have, you know, younger children that are also in school, so it might be easier that way, but also just to kind of keep that consistency for our adults. So we are going to run it from 8:30 to 2:30, Monday through Friday. They are going to have very busy daily schedules, which we're going to actually show you an example of that, so I won't get into that too much right now. All our GAP program participants will get an annual family membership, which is actually going to be included in the tuition, which we'll get to that later. I know many of you are very, very eager to hear that. But that is also important, because our adults, our participants, are going to be in the fitness center, and how nice if your family wants to come and work out and use the amazing facility that the JCC has to offer. There will be optional lunch that can be ordered by the catering company, in case that is something of interest to you. Staff and participants will have access to a team of professional advisors who are experts in their fields. So you will have access to not only myself, but a BCBA, a speech language pathologist, an occupational therapist, as well as a psychologist, as well as other, we're still kind of creating that, so there's going to be more added to our team. And the point of our advisors are to not only make sure that our program is running the way it is and give pointers, but also as your children enter this program, if there's anything we need to kind of discuss or work through together, we have a whole team that can help, in addition to our amazing staff we're going to be hiring. Participants may register also for the GiveU afternoon enrichment classes. And I don't know if your children are currently in this program, but I highly recommend it. They are amazing. I actually had the pleasure of being a part of the initial planning for the GiveU programs as well. And it's right, they really heard from us, the parents, and they developed amazing virtual classes now because of the pandemic, as well as in-person classes that have just recently started to open again. Amazing staff, amazing opportunities, and fun for your children. So if you have not taken part in that, I absolutely would encourage you to do so. And of course, Camp Gibrim. I mean, I'm speechless. All I can say is Chandler wants to wear his teal shirt all year long. And if your children are currently in the camp, I know you know exactly what I mean. So just to be clear, the GiveU programs and the camp are not part of the tuition, but we are running the program specific with those hours and the calendar. So your children can be have access to those programs in the summertime or after our day program. Next.
So this is a picture of the front of our campus, but it's much larger than what you see. It's a 30,000 square foot indoor sports complex. We have 2 fully equipped gymnasiums. We have aquatics facility, which includes swimming pool and a beautiful splash pad, basketball courts. We have tennis and pickleball courts, indoor racquetball courts. We have an indoor track, which is part of our fitness center, dance studio, a kitchen, which is where we teach, I think Debbie now teaches our creative cooking classes. We have an art studio, we have a theater with a stage and audio-visual room, a yoga studio, computer lab, and more. And the one new thing that we have is a new, I don't know if we have a name for it, Scott, you're muted, but if you want to come on, I know it's a green screen, like theater film room. And I do know that Ghiberine programs, including GAP, will have access to this and take part in it. It could be a class each week. We haven't figured out that actual schedule, but it's an amazing high-tech room that is going to be used for filming all kinds of programming. So we're very excited about that.
So the program, what are we really going to be focusing on? So as your previous IEPs, if your children are still in school participating in a public school program, they have IEPs. We're not going to have IEPs necessarily as part of our GAP program, but we are going to have goals. We are going to have a document that we do want to highlight some goals. So that way you guys see what your children are doing and with the goals that they're able to achieve. So one of the biggest things, of course, is this independent living skills. Again, parents, one of the things that I lose sleep over is what's going to happen to my child when I'm no longer on this earth. We always want to foster that level of independence so we don't have to leave, our disabled children with other loved ones that it kind of, I don't want to use the wrong word here, but my fear is that leaving Chandler with my son Ethan or Taylor and then having that full-on responsibility when perhaps I really could have pushed that independent piece a little bit more. So it's not so much on them. So these are things that we have to really be aware of and plan for the future. So the independent living skills will, we will work hard on not only, cooking and laundry, but also budgeting, grocery shopping, chores, and of course, safety. Very, very important as we really promote independence. Work-based learning. So again, going back to, the idea of our children working or helping them develop those employability skills or volunteer, okay? Again, we're working with children on all different ability levels, but we want to focus on individual, there's that word again, strengths, interests, and skills to explore a variety of employment or volunteer options. This will combine training and interpersonal skills with the goal to gain practical work experience that may lead to an independent job, supported employment, or volunteer position. One thing I always say is that I refuse for Chandler to stay home. That's the worst thing I can do for him, and it's really unfair. I don't expect that of my other children, so why should I expect that of him? So again, very, very important point to this program of what we're going to be hopeful in working in and to develop with your children. Social recreational learning, again, very, very important. We want to foster those friendships, but we also want to make sure that there is a positive life experience with a sense of belonging for our individuals. All our participants will support each other, and we're going to foster those positive relationships within a supervised and active environment on and off campus. The participation in social and recreational activities promotes inclusion, health and fitness, and enhances overall well-being. So yes, parents, we're going to work on that gut. We're also going to work maybe on some yoga poses, but we're also going to work on those social friendships, no matter, again, your child's ability level, if you feel they're interested or not interested, we all have a sense of belonging, and that's what this program is going to be able to do. So a sample of our schedule. So again, since this is going to be the inaugural year, we have some work to do, but one thing that I refuse is that my child, to sit in a room all day. That is not going to happen. I promise you that. So we'll have in-house days and some community days. So as you see on the schedule, we're going to arrive and do some social activities. Now remember, this is just an example, so it may be different order, but just to kind of give you all an idea of what their day is going to look like. We're going to do some outdoor fitness or, go into the pool area. We're then going to dive into, no pun intended, individualized vocational training. So for a good hour, based on your child's ability and their goals, we're going to work on some of that vocational training. We're then going to have lunch, and even during our meals and like lunchtime, it's going to be a very social opportunity. Our staff is going to be on the entire time your children are with us. So lunch, and then we're going to go into some social activities. Again, we're going to return to some vocational training from 12 to 1 o'clock. Then we're going to get into either fitness, health, or cooking. So depending on the day, we'll kind of rotate some of those different activities. We're then going to organize, clean up the area, whether that's also maybe if there's like, if we were working that day, like in our mock apartment or cooking, that's going to be a part of the cleanup. Our staff's not going to do it. Your children are going to be doing everything. Our staff is going to be there to guide and to teach. But if your children need like task strips, visuals, whatever they need in order to foster that level of independence when it's time to clean up their areas or to reflect in the day, that's all going to be a big part of what we do. And then at 2:30, we'll dismiss. And then at that point, if your child is participating in any of the Give You classes, we'll make arrangements that we can transition them right into the Give You classes. For community days, kind of similar, except we're going to be out in the community for a block of time. So we'll start off with the arrival and social activities. We're going to do that community-based intervention, that work experience. And to give you guys an idea of what that might look like, it may be that we go into a pizza store and we're working on getting some boxes together for that day or for the week, putting the boxes together. It may be, helping them with menus, maybe, straightening up a store, maybe going into the Miami Dolphins training facility and helping them organize some of, the bags for like an upcoming game or, putting some tasks to work. So it's really going to depend on those community partners, what that CBI or community-based intervention and work experience is going to look like. It could be going also to the store, going to the grocery store. There may be a day where we're like, hey, send in a shopping list. We're going to go shopping. Or maybe around the holidays, we can shop for significant others for you. So just giving your children the overall experience of that community-based intervention in that work experience. And then of course, as your children continue to be successful in whatever area they are, we're going to build on that. So you may see a lot more of the same. It just depends on how your children do with our curriculum and within our environment. Again, lunch at the J or out, I do believe in working on those social skills and etiquette as well. So taking your children to a restaurant or, wherever we're working, maybe even at the pizza store, we'll sit around, have a nice time together and enjoy a meal together and work on those social skills in terms of meal times. Again, doesn't matter your child's ability level. If you guys know Chandler, you know where he's at. This really is a program that we're going to really be able to accommodate and make it individualized for your individual. We're then going to return back, if we eat out, we're going to engage in some of those social activities, work on a little bit more vocational training. Again, with that rotation, that fitness, health, or cooking, we're going to clean up the day, reflect, kind of review what we did that day, and then again, go into dismissal or snack or wait for the Give You transition if your children participate in Give You classes. Okay, so our staff. So is this still me? Yeah, it is. Okay, sorry. I get so confused with what I'm supposed to read and I'm a talker, so I can keep going on and on and on. This right here, guys, is what is going to really, well, I've already said a bunch of reasons of why we're going to stand out from other programs, but this right here is also very, very important. Not only are we going to have a 4-to-1 ratio, but we are going to have a highly skilled and qualified staff. We're going to have a staff with a lead and support specialist. And those leads and support specialists are going to have extensive training. It's very important for the quality and also to allow this program to grow in the direction that we want it to grow. This is not babysitting. This is going to be work. This is going to be, having to work through each child's individual needs, data collection. This is going to be a very individualized program that without the adequate and properly trained staff, it will not work. So this is a very important aspect to understand, because I know as parents, when perhaps our children were younger, we were worried about those paraprofessionals. We were worried about the training. Is the staff trained to teach our children? Whatever it is that your child needs, our staff will be trained. We are partnering with the Center of Autism and Related Disabilities as well. They're going to be helping us with some trainings. We are going to be sending our staff to some trainings as well, depending on the population of our adults and the skills we're working on. So it's going to be constant training. It's going to be very individualized for your child. And that's really what this is going to be about, with top-notch staff. top notch, not babysitting. So I want to be clear on that because that's definitely, I'm really excited about that. So the staff structure, again, is going to be 1 lead and 2 support. We're trying to get, at the beginning, we'd like to ideally start with 9 to 12. At all times, we're going to be maintaining that 4-to-1 ratio. If our class, our group grows, then we will accommodate that, but always keeping in mind that 4-to-1 ratio. Our staff is going to plan and create and implement individual programs based on each student's specific goals. We're going to make sure they have excellent interpersonal communication skills. That to me as an advocate is so super important. So we will make sure that our staff has that as well. The ongoing professional development training and our advisory board will also be assisting with that. So if, as we all know, with our children, things happen, behaviors may come up, this is where we're going to have the staff to be able to, assist, as well as a board to be able to come to and consult so we can assist as well. We're also obviously going to also make sure that they have their clearances.
This
Debbie?
is still you, Yusela. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
this is your-
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay, community partners. So again, I kind of have been talking a little bit about these community partners. So the point of these community partners is for a few reasons. Number one, to afford our adults with some employment or volunteer opportunities. And when I say employment, please understand, it can also be supported employment. I realize that. So, but creating these partners within the community that provide these opportunities for our children. In addition to that, we do plan on, doing some fundraising and being able to, get our children involved in different activities. As you see there, I'm actually going to use Brightline as, I don't think it's actually called Brightline anymore. I believe they were bought out by Virgin. But Brightline was a contact of mine that I was so, they were so excited to hear about the Give You program that they afforded our participants through the Give You program, an amazing day where they took the train, they had lunch, and Debbielombard's actually in that picture, and I know she can tell you about it. The kids had an amazing experience. It was such a cool thing. So even those experiences that maybe we wouldn't think about with our kids, that's going to be a big part of our community partners. So of course, keeping in mind that we are really targeting that employment and those opportunities for our children, but also creating experiences that perhaps your children haven't had is also going to be a part of this program. We'll work together with our community partners to plan and to set goals and to create those ongoing beneficial relationships with them. So in turn, it helps our participants. Community support is critical in our idea and our plan with this program. And it's really something that should be celebrated by all because this is inclusion. If we go out, we talk to businesses, they have our individuals come in. I mean, I don't know what could be more inclusive other than this. So not only is this a program that, yes, your children are going to come in and do all these really cool things and have a very busy day while they're learning job skills and life skills, but we're really going to have a huge impact in our community. And I couldn't be more proud of that.
Good evening, everybody. Hi, my name is Debbielombard. For those of you who don't know, I am the Gibberine U director. And as Yusela was saying, we have, already established many partnering organizations that you can see here that we work with. We work with the Jewish Federation of Broward County, obviously, and they've been a great support of ours. Our programs would not be successful without the help of our partners. They help us to get the word out that there's for participation. They're also good with funding, and they've been wonderful. Actually, Jewish Federation, we just had an event that we got all of our art supplies for our art program. So we have a full closet of art supplies. It's amazing. We have table easels, you name whatever art supply you might think of, we have them now, thanks to Federation. We also work very closely with Goodman JFS, Jewish Family Services, especially with their Joshua's Path, which is their adult program that they have. It's the outreach for the community, and their Boost program, which is building on our strengths together, which is a job training program. So we've been very close. This is where the Give Shop came in and how we've been working. We also work with CARD, which is on here right now. So thank you, Michael. And they do trainings for us, as Yusela was saying. We will continue that training and go on and on with that. We work with the Agency of Persons with Disabilities. We're very close with them. They let us know what's going on in the community constantly, probably 4 to 5 different emails a day, and we do put that into our newsletters for everyone else. We're also we've worked with the Exceptional Theater Company for a long time. Many of you know me from there. They're our theater program that's been here for many years. Remarkable Disability Services happens to be a new program that's out in the community that you might have heard of. They are here helping us with our Give You Life Skills program, also does our Movie Makers class, if you have had a chance to see our movies, which is great. And I just want to put a plug in for the green room. We have a full production room that is going on, and we're looking forward to working in there soon, or in the fall. We also work with Memorial Healthcare Systems. They've been wonderful to us. A large portion of all the hospitals have been, you know, really very supportive of GIB. And we work with the Student Finance League, which also teaches another skills class, life skills class for us. And they work with budgeting and banking. Also, they have something that's called a money buddy, which is not your parent. It's somebody else that you kind of can call when you are going to buy a big purchase. That might be, maybe you set the price for $20 or $30, and they actually are the person who, you know, you call and you say, is that pack of gum worth $5? And they say no. And they help you with making your decisions. We work along with Autism Speaks. For many of you who have been part of our GIB Connect program, which is our virtual program that started because of the pandemic, they supplied us through a grant with all of our boxing gloves and our obstacle courses, our agility sets that everyone got who was home, part of the GIB Connect program. Special Olympics also works with us very closely with their nutrition and helping us to do what's called Healthy, Fit, and Fun. And so we do that. Best Buddies has also worked with us in their job placement with our GAP, with our Boost program. And we're also very close to them, you know, and we work together with buddies and having volunteers. So, and that's it. So thank you.
And I will say, first of all, no one jump off this Zoom because of what you're saying. I'm going to get into that in a second. But Debbie is just such an incredible, incredible person, and our kids love her to pieces. So thank you, Debbie, for what you do and helping our kids fit in and participate in all the programs through GiveU. I know Chandler loves you, so thank you. Okay, so tuition. So I know this is the moment you've all been waiting for, but I want you guys to understand that when I kept saying individualized and I kept saying meaningful, and I explained to you the quality of this staff, there has to be a price tag to that. There is no program in the area similar to what we're doing and what we're hoping to accomplish. So because of that, of course, there's a cost, but I also understand that for us as parents, we're like, whoa, how is this going to work out? And I'm a parent. I have 3 children, actually even a grandchild now. So I understand cost. You know, we're going to have to take care of our children, you know, for a long time, I understand. But this is also one of the things that I'm hoping to help families with. So as of right now, we're looking at a range from $23,000 to $28,000 a year. Why we're kind of saying that range is because we're hoping to raise money. We're hoping to, you know, see how many participants we're able to come into our program. And that's really going to decide what that figure is going to be. But we're going to go ahead and take the median of the tuition range at $2,500 a month. And again, this is for a 10-month program. Okay. So if your child receives Social Security, if your child is on the waiver, which I'm going to get into that regarding CDC in a minute, but if we turn that waiver into CDC Plus, and again, these are just the Social Security number, the CDC number, even the scholarship, as you see there, they are going to vary, but I wanted to be as conservative as possible with this to kind of give you an idea of, at the end of the day, you know, what this is really going to cost on a weekly basis. Okay. So if we say your child's Social Security is $525, that you're able to apply to this program. If we say through CDC funds, and again, I'm going to get into the waiver in a minute, but your CDC funds, you know, you can use your budget and apply $600 a month towards the program. And we're hoping at the minimum, the scholarship will be $250 a month. Then we see there the potential out-of-pocket costs, right? With the monthly tuition being $11.25 and that weekly tuition of being $281 a week. Now we have to be mindful of what we are trying to create here. We also have to be mindful of what this program is going to provide your children. Again, top quality staff, we're going to have goals set in place. One thing I failed to mention is that one of the big things that we're going to be doing too is having these meetings with our families. It's not like you're going to drop your child off in August and not hear from us till May. We're going to have quarterly meetings. We're going to discuss, hey, how are things going at home? Because as you all know, our children look different somewhere else than they do at home and vice versa. So we really all have to be on the same page, right? So we're going to have quarterly trainings. We're going to have a whole advisory board that you guys are going to have access to make sure that we're maximizing and we're going to reach your child's fullest potential. So that is all part of this price tag. Again, we look at $281 a week. That can potentially be a meal or two for some families a week. I realize not for everybody, but again, we have to think of the quality of the program and what we're going to be achieving for your children with this program. One thing
Let me just jump in real quick just on that. So
Yeah,
we just let you know, we talked about the price for a long time, trying to make sure, you know, we're a nonprofit agency and we want to really invest back into this program, but we want to have enough money to pay the correct staff and have the correct and do things that we need to do to give you the best quality that we can give. But you know, again, that's why we put 23 to 2,800. I hope that we grow the program. Hopefully, we're going to start with 12. But I hope we grow the program over time and we can reduce the cost. But I think this is going to be the minimal thing for the first year. And again, we're going to try to raise as much money as we can to offset some tuition towards the end of the year. No promises, but we've started off raising some good money with a grant that we just got from the Federation the other day. But again, we talked about this a lot and we're really concerned. Though it's only $9 or $10 an hour, we know it's a lot of money, but we're going to give you a really, really high quality program.
Exactly. And that scholarship amount can change too, because as Scott Ehrlich just shared, you know, with fundraising and everything as well, we are hoping that we can have a gala and to raise money. And that's going to be where we're going to need you guys as parents as well to participate, help us get, you know, have a successful gala, because that in turn, whatever extra or whatever is raised is just going to go right back into the program, not only to continue with our goals, but also to help bring this tuition rate down. So that is something that we can promise. So one of the things that I wanted to add, and I just saw it pop up on the chat, is what is CDC Plus? So many of our children have the Med Waiver. So what you can do with Med Waiver is you can convert it to what CDC Plus. And basically what that is it gives parents control of your child's budget. So right now, if you have waiver, you might have a certain amount of hours approved for, you know, personal care assistance or respite or whatever it is. That money can turn into CDC Plus dollars. And then yes, you have to do some reporting and some accounting on your end, but it does give parents that control over their child's budget. And one thing that I am willing to do, I'm actually going through it myself right now. So I'm learning as I'm doing this, is I'm in the process of converting my child's Med Waiver to CDC Plus. And I'm willing to help families that are interested in this process, as you know, so that way you have an opportunity if you need those dollars to participate in a program, and I'm happy to do that. Again, I'm going through it right now. There is a question. I just want to answer the questions that are coming with CDC Plus, so I can look and answer the questions. One question was already answered. Do we know for sure that CDC will allow us to use GAP as a vendor? I thought it had to be waiver ADT only. We're actually not waiver, because that's why it's going to change to CDC Plus. I mean, since it's changing CDC Plus, you can use it for a program, for an adult program, and we'll have more information on that, but you will be able to use the CDC Plus dollars as long as it's allocated for a day program. So there is ways that you would be able to do that. And again, I'm going through it right now, so I don't have all the specific questions, but if you are on the waiver, you can absolutely start talking to your support coordinator about it. I know I just took the test. You have to take like this preliminary test. I just completed that. So now I'm on my current waiver coordinator is not CDC approved. She's in the process of doing it. So I'm trying to hold out for her because I really like her. But you know, I have to move on with this process because it is a lengthy process, but you are able to use that you know, for this program. And then McKay's not going to be an option because McKay, it has to be a school, or we're not considered a school. Also with McKay, it's not like it goes on forever. So it's only school age. So McKay is not going to be an option for our program. And there was a question here about VR for funding as well. Yes, we're going to be looking into that. We didn't want to jump the gun too much with all these things because we don't want to guarantee these things. Gardner is, I thought, for only the age. I'm looking at the questions so you guys can follow along with me because I knew we were going to get lots of questions, and this is good. What about Gardner? They fund therapies and enrichment as well through 22. I actually thought Gardner was to 18. Last I read it was 18, but I will absolutely take a look at that. And yeah, if you can use it for 1 year, of course, you know, we're going to have access to all this information once we know we have a program, and we need participants to have a program. But the vendor for Voc Rehab, yes, we've talked about that, and that is something we will look at. And again, with Gardner, I'll take a look at it. Just so you're aware, there's a lot of changes that are about to happen with Gardner and McKay, specifically McKay. So Bill was just passed totally off topic, but you may want to follow that because that is going to be a little bit different. But again, so this is going to be the tuition. In terms of the Gardner, McKay, any of those other funding elements, that's really going to be on you guys as parents, just so you know. You know, if it's a matter of converting from waiver to CDC, since I'm going through it, I have no problem helping you, but then it's going to be on you guys. We're not going to have, then we'd have to charge even more, unfortunately, if we have to have a person allocated to do these things. But we will absolutely get those resources to you. I just want to really start on SSI. I know for sure our kids have waiver. Most of our kids have, and the scholarship is obviously something that we're doing in-house. So these are things that, hey, at the very worst, if you have Gardner and you can access those funds for that, then yeah, we can certainly, this will only go down. But I'd rather you guys see it just the way this example is written, so you can determine if this is a program for your family. Any other questions about this? Sorry, I just saw another question come in. Hold on. If you work with Beyond Gardner, they will help tremendously. Okay, again, yes, I'm aware of all of that, but again, once we have a program, I'll look into that, but a lot of that is going to be contingent on our families as well, because it's just something that we don't have the manpower in terms of the financial piece. But we will absolutely look into everything. And if we can accept it without any extra work on our end, yes. But again, with McKay and some of the things changing, if you guys can use it for the program, you absolutely can, because that's going to be on you guys figuring that out with the McKay office or the Gardner office. How will you be doing transportation to the community? We currently, I believe, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, we contract with the city of Pembroke Pines. Through the City of Pembroke Pines Charter for transportation. Is that correct, Scott Ehrlich?
Well,
Scott Dermer?
I don't think we would use that for this program.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we would use separate busing to get here if we're going on. We do have dollars separated.
And there are different companies that we work with in the summer camp as well that we would reach out to.
Yeah, listen, the most important thing, first of all, you saw I could listen to you for like all night. That was great. You know, believe it or not, there's only 100 days until August 18th or so, somewhere around 100 days to August 18th. And the most important thing for us is to try to get the 12 adults that are going to join us for this program so we can hire the staff. So I know you have a lot to absorb tonight. There's a lot of information. You know, I think our information's in the chat, or we'll put some our emails and information in the chat if you want to ask more questions tomorrow or throughout the week. But there is some time constraints if we want to get started in August. So again, we're looking for just 12 this first year. Is that correct, everybody?
Yes, that is correct, up to 12.
And
Well, I think that we can start the program with 9. That is, I mean.
Yeah, we'll start with 9 and 12 is our max. There's 100 days until August, about 100 days until we start. And we're going to need to hire. The most important thing is hiring the right people to do this. So please, if you're interested, please reach out to us and say you're interested and you're ready to join us, so that we can try to get to that level of 9, so that we can hire the right staff and get them trained over the summer and get ready for the school year to begin.
So some other questions that just popped up really quick. I just want to make sure, again, I'm seeing Florida prepaid. Keep in mind, guys, that some of these things we're not going to be eligible for just because of the way we're running the program. So I don't want to put any false information out there. Again, stick with that number we shared with you. And if these things work, that's only going to be more beneficial to your family. So I encourage you to also do your research and your homework. If this is something that you'd be interested in, we'd love to have you and your children. How many adults are you accepting this fall? Only 12. Listen, if we get 15, 16, 20, we will see what we can do. So right now, I want to start smaller, so we can, kind of work everything through and then just build and build and build. But, we also have some programs closed down out there this year because of the pandemic, and I'm well aware of that. So, your participation is really what's going to drive that, and we will build what comes. I mean, we absolutely will. What is the next step to sign up? You can email us. We will provide the email in the chat if someone can put that in the
Debbie?
chat.
I just did.
Thank you.
It's gap@dpjcc.org. Very easy.
Right. No periods, just the 3 letters.
And then how many do you currently have? Well, we don't currently we have Chandler, but I mean, we don't, this is our first night. We have not signed anyone up or anything. We're just really getting this off, and we're off on a tremendous start. We're really, really excited. So we're in good shape. We're in really good shape.
The registration forms will be up soon. We're thinking probably by mid-May, like possibly May 18th, which is a Tuesday. So, but definitely send your email to the GAP email, and we'll keep that list, and then we'll send out notice, through our newsletters to anyone who responded to the original request list with the link to the form. You'll get
right. And then we'll create an intake form. We'll absolutely make it personable, like I do for camp, speaking with everyone. We'll have a phone call. If we can meet in person, we'll do that, especially giving you guys a tour if you would like to see the campus. Who can they email someone if they would like to see the facilities? Still through GAP?
Through GAP.
Through GAP, got it.
There was one other question that was up at the top, and I wanted to put it out there. So for someone asked about catering, would catering be able to meet dietary needs for for someone who might be lactose intolerant?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
And then there's some other questions here. What is the expected start date? I believe public school starts August 18th, so I'm thinking either that week or the following week. It'll be around that week. I don't want to start midweek for our programs with this, but we may. But it'll be, I know public schools start back August 18th. It is not year round. We are going to run summers off for now, but doesn't mean that might not change later on. We're open to ideas. We're open to meeting your individual needs as well. So, but for right now, we are looking at a 10-month program. The tuition would be for 10 months. And then there's another email there regarding if you'd like to take a tour of the amazing facility, reach out to Debbielombard. Her email has been provided on the chat.
What is here? What is it? What do you want, Jake? Come here.
Yep. Any other questions or teams, any other questions?
If I can just have a quick question. I'm sorry, I don't know what the text, so I just kind of jumped in. If you don't mind, do you have a staffing already aligned that are ready, able, and committed to actually, for the minimum 9 students or participants that you would like to have?
Who wants to answer that?
We are in the process of accepting resumes, interviewing, and hiring, and we hope to have that done hopefully before July is our goal.
Okay.
But it won't be a problem.
Okay.
It definitely won't be a problem. If anything, we may have too many applicants. It's going to be harder on us.
And that's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. I'm with you. I understand. Believe me, this is my baby that's going to be coming here too. So I completely understand.
Great question, Mike.
Yeah, and it's
I
going to
think
be
having the
evolving.
right staff is the most.
Absolutely, and it's going to be evolving. It's the inaugural year, so I think being flexible and adapting to the needs, we're excited for it.
There's another question here. Can they come in after 8:30, and can they get there about 9 o'clock, we live far, so that's a question.
Of course. I mean, I
Of course.
wouldn't see a
Yeah,
problem.
I would say
Um,
so.
Yeah,
And then the next one.
The only thing I would add is if it's a day of a trip where we're
Yes.
going, we might, say to you, try to be there by 8:45. But on the other typical days that we're not leaving, if you come late, you come a little late. I mean.
And also was asked, will Debbie be part of the day program? Yes, I'll be.
Debbie will be directly overseeing it, as well as Arlene and myself will be involved as well, but she will be the direct supervisor of the GAP coordinator.
I agree. I'm a big Debbie fan also. So I totally agree. And I will say, when going back a little bit too, just in thinking of the planning of all this, and I think we've all said it as far as our committee, I could not ask for a better committee. These folks have the same passion I have as a parent. And there's no better feeling than that, knowing that someone not only believes in this because our community needs it, but being able to leave our children in the hands of remarkable people. It's truly an amazing team. So I'm really excited for the next stages and the development of this program. And there will be amazing quality staff to go with our amazing quality team. Someone had asked, are you able to contact me with any questions? I don't have a problem with that, as long as the rest of the board doesn't have a problem with that.
I wanted to ask if it ends at 2:30 and we're kind of like a drive away, would it be an option to have like somebody greet my son and do an hour, I don't know, whatever other programs the community, the JCC offers for after school to kind of like continue right after 2:30 or?
So that is built into the program actually, that we offer these, what are called Gibberim U classes, but eventually they're going to just be called Gib Connect. But anyway, yeah, there will be an array of classes. We're actually going to, right now we only have one 3 o'clock class. Debbie-Lombard, you could chime in. I know basketball is at 3.
Right, but we're going to be creating.
We're going to create a few classes at 3, so you would have a choice. For example, if your son or daughter doesn't like basketball, we want to make sure to have an option. So we talked about always having like a sports, fitness, wellness option, as well as something maybe in the arts or something like that. So we're hoping to always have 2 3 o'clock options for classes during the week. And then we have an array of options that open up at like 4, 4:15, our normal classes that we've been running for a few years that a lot of you actually are participants in already. So so you could, depending on their schedule on any given day, you could pick up, let's say at 4, you could pick up at 5, you could even pick up as late as 6, just saying. So, yeah.
And Bonnie, there's a question there about, will there be an additional fee for those classes offered through Gib Connect?
Yeah, so those classes will have an additional fee. And by the way, Gib Connect Virtual is still an option as well, as almost all those options are after the GAP program. And the way it's been working is if you do Gib Connect, we give you discounts on the in-person classes. We haven't discussed it yet, Debbie and Arlene, but I believe we'll be offering that same kind of discount. Like if you're doing Gib Connect, you'll also get a discount on the in-person classes.
All great questions. Any other questions?
Let's get started.
We are ready. Okay, so for those that are interested, again, just email through GAP, let us know, and we will be in touch with you guys.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
Right.
Bye. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Stella. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Thanks for being with
Bye.
us.
Bye.
Hey, Stella.
Yeah.
It's Wendy Wilcox.
Hi.
Hi. So I actually had to take you in the car with me.
That's okay.
So I could not see the slides with the tuition breakdown and the CDC plus that you were talking about.
Okay.
can you email that to me? Because I couldn't see how it broke down. And Thomas is on the waiver, so I was interested in seeing how that broke down the tuition.
Yeah, if you can just email that GAP email and they'll send that to you, absolutely, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I'll share the PowerPoint. We can do that.
Okay. Can you give me 2 seconds? Because I'm still in the car. I just got to a red
No
light.
problem. Yeah, or you can text me, Wendy. Text me and I'll send it to them if that's easier for you.
Well, yeah, if you give me, I think I can find a pen.
No problem.
Yeah, can I just, can I just email you or text you and you can just shoot me the email or shoot it to them or however,
Yes.
just so I can
Send
see
it to me and I'll send
because
you
I
the
missed half
information.
of it.
Yeah, no problem. Just email me or
Thank you. I
text me and I'll
appreciate
get
it.
that. No problem.
Thank you. My best friend's been in the hospital for a week and she just got out, so I would come in to help her
Oh,
take
I
care
hope
of her.
she's okay.
So
I hope she's okay.
yeah, finally. So, all right. Thank you guys. Program sounds wonderful.
Yay.
Thank you.
Yeah,
By the way,
sounds great.
Patty Barney is still on. I believe I saw her fit, and she had a question. Is this for adults 30 plus? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Patty, it is for 30 plus. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
Good to
Good
see you all.
night.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thanks, Lena, for being there, Neil. Good to see you, Brenda. Okay. Are we ending?
I know.
Yeah.
You got to end some.
Okay. All right. Good night, everyone. I am ending it.